The Sunrise and the Reaping movie has had many casting updates this year. I went through a good majority of them in my previous videos, and just recently, Lionsgate and the Hunger Games Instagram page just released a whole new set of cast members. In this video, I'll be going through these actors and actresses to give some background on them and the characters they're going to portray. So without further ado, let's get into it. The most recent casting update we have right now is for 6 out of the 48 tributes in Haymitch Abernathy's Hunger Games. And yes, I absolutely mean 48 tributes, because in the 50th Hunger Games, there were twice the amount of tributes, which means that we might see a lot more of these casting updates in the future, because this movie is going to need a lot of cast members. So let's go over these 6 tributes, and let's start with Maritte. Maritte was one of the female tributes from District 4, and she was a pretty strong tribute. She placed 5th out of the 48 kids, and she was known to wield a trident, kind of like Finnick from the main trilogy. She was a pretty good fighter and contender in the games, and that's all I could say without the spoilers. For this upcoming movie, she will be played by Skye Francis. Skye is an English actress, and there's not much about her. She starred in 2 TV shows, which are A Gentleman in Moscow and Vera. Aside from this, she's also credited for 2 short films, Don't Mind Me and Geordie Translator. Appearance-wise, I can't really compare Skye to Maritte because Maritte doesn't have a clear physical description. I just remember her wearing a mermaid costume because she's from District 4, but I don't think there was any mention of eye color or hair color or even race at all. That kind of made me forget her character sometimes in the book, but ultimately, I can see Skye as Maritte. Next is the casting update for Kerna, a District 9 tribute. There's not much about Kerna in The Sunrise and the Reaping. Like, the only thing that's pretty prominent about her and her fellow tributes from District 9 is how shy they were to Haymitch and the rest. They didn't really talk or socialize much, but they ended up becoming allies with Haymitch and the rest of District 12. In the movie next year, Kerna is going to be played by Alina Reed. I went online to research about her, but I couldn't find much. Compared to Skye earlier, she doesn't have any credited movie or show, so I think the Sunrise and the Reaping film will be her first big work. I tried to dig a bit deeper though, and I found her Instagram page. There, we learned that she's a ballet dancer, and she's a young artist. That's pretty much all I could get though, but I personally think that she's age appropriate for Kerna, and I'm pretty excited to see her as Kerna. After Kerna is Buck, one of the male tributes of District 10. Like Kerna, there's not much about Buck in the book. There's like one main scene I can remember from the top of my head, but that's going to spoil you guys, so all I can say is this. Buck ends up becoming an ally to Haymitch and the rest. And I know, that's painfully short, but that's all I could say. He also doesn't have an exact physical description, so fans like me were pretty open to anyone who is young enough to play Buck. In this movie, Buck will be portrayed by John Doble. I'm not really sure if I'm pronouncing his last name right, so I'm sorry about that, but let's talk about John. Currently, John's credited for one TV show called Druck, and he played a student there. Also, he has this upcoming film too, and I can't really pronounce the title, so I'm just showing it to you guys to see. Aside from that, I found 2 sources that state he's from Germany, and he has some Filipino or Asian heritage as well. So overall, that's John Doble for Buck. I can't really compare him physical description wise to Buck because there's really nothing from the book, but I think I can see the vision. I personally pictured him a bit younger though, but I'm open to how he portrays Buck in the future. Next is the casting update for Ringina. Ringina is a female tribute from District 7, and compared to the tributes earlier, she actually has a bit of a physical description. She was a slim girl with glossy black braids, and she had a pin of a tree because District 7 is about lumber. Ringina is going to be played by Tatiana Muzondo, and I think she's pretty spot on to how I imagine her. Her hair is a bit shorter though, so I don't really think she's going to have the braids, but still, she looks pretty book accurate. I couldn't really find any TV show or movie she's been in before, and I researched more and realized that she's more into theater according to this website. She's from the Royal Central School of Speech and Drama in London, and her course was acting for musical plays or theater. She also has a couple of productions in Central, and I honestly think she's really talented. I'm so excited to see her as Ringina. After Ringina is Clayton, a District 9 tribute. So this technically makes him and Kerna earlier as district partners. Like Kerna, all we really know about Clayton is how shy he was, and he was described as having a buttery yellow training suit, and he had a pretty good build. Clayton will be played by Salimo Thyme. Salimo is an actor known for the TV show A Case for Two, and an upcoming one called Overpark. I didn't really have that much of an image for Clayton when reading The Sunrise and the Reaping, but I think I can picture Selimo as Clayton. And last but not the least is the casting update for Hull. Hull is a District 11 tribute, and I remembered him being a pretty selfless and brave person. He was a pretty strong tribute too, and he allied himself with Haymitch in District 12. Hull is going to be portrayed by Kane Buffinch. Kane is an actor, and before The Sunrise and the Reaping, he has about 7 previous projects. Some of them are Jungle, Point 5, and Hackney Downs. Hull doesn't really have that much of a physical description, but I can see Kane as Hull in this upcoming movie. And those are all the cast members we have so far. So how about you? What do you think of these cast members? Let me know in the comments down below.